Welcome back to another video. In today's video, these are the 3 worst dates I've ever been on. First one's kind of my fault. The other 2, I will leave up to your determination. This is the first date. This is actually my first date after coming out of a 12-year relationship. And I hadn't been in the dating game or flirting with girls or taking girls out on first dates in a long time. And I remember the Demon Slayer movie just came out in movie theaters. And I posted on my Instagram story that I really wanted to go see it. Actually, the girl who I was in a relationship with for 12 years, one of her friends from college had hit me up. I was like, yo, I'm in your town. Do you want to go see this movie? At the time, I was struggling with a drug addiction, the end of a 12-year relationship. So there was a lot going on, and I had just moved back in with my parents. So let's just say my headspace was not the greatest. So I was like, you know what, I'm down. It had been a couple weeks. I probably should have waited longer, but I was like, you know what, I need to get my mind off things. Let's do it. So one of my first mistakes was I was like, you know, I'm going on this first date with this person. Maybe I should sober up for it. So I didn't do any drugs, which is like, I guess, a good thing. But when you're struggling with drug addiction and you just stop cold turkey, you kind of tweak out.
I thought we were having a nice day.
We are.
Why does it matter? I thought we were having a nice day.
I remember driving to the movies and I was just having cold sweats, anxiety, my face was flushed. I hadn't been sleeping well. Like, I probably look absolutely crazy, this poor girl. Anyways, we get to the movie. She was like a nice Asian girl, like she was super dope. Anyways, when I met her, I was so nervous. I remember seeing her and I walked up to her and she was like outside the theater. And like, I didn't even know what to say, to give a hug, to say hey. I remember I walked up, I'm like, I'm here, and I kind of like just turned and walked in, and she was like, oh. I'm in my head this whole time, I'm like, oh my god, bro, that was so awkward. So we go in the movies, and I'm not even thinking, I just walk up, and I'm like not even talking or acknowledging her. And I remember I'm like sweating and just super nervous. I walk up to like the person selling tickets, I'm like, 2 tickets for Demon Slayer. And I was like, looked over, I was like, is it okay if I pay for your ticket? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. I remember I got the tickets, and I just kind of like walked towards the theater, and like at this point, like she was kind of like just following me, and I wasn't acknowledging her. Like, I was honestly speed running worst dates ever for her. And so we get into the movie, we sit down, I'm like, oh snap, should I go get us popcorn and a drink? And she was like, oh yeah, that would be nice. Like, what do you like to drink? And I remember she had told me a drink, and I was like, okay, bet, I'll get that. I'm like nervous, I'm acting weird, I need to make up for this. So I go out and I'm just like sweating, and my hands are sweaty, my face is sweaty. And I remember just like, I gotta calm down. So before I go get snacks, I go to the bathroom. I'm just in the bathroom, like trying to fix my hair. My hands are sweating. My face is greasy. I'm just like feeling so just like out of place, just out of pocket, like out of my skin. And then I was like in there, I was like, okay, let me calm down. I'll pull up my phone, like, let me just get a little quick social media scroll in just to calm down, just to normalize things. And then next thing I know it, I'm sitting in the bathroom for 10 minutes, like trying to fix my hair, like just trying to calm down. I gotta get these snacks and drinks, she's in there waiting for me. So I go get the snacks and drinks. I get popcorn, and I remember when it came to drink, I was like, I don't remember. I think it was Sprite, so I grabbed Sprite. And I go back in there, and it's been like 15-20 minutes, and the movie had already started, and I came and sat down. She was like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you ditched me. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I apologize about that. I had like a phone call, which honestly sounds low-key worse. And so I hand her the popcorn and drinks. She goes, oh, what'd you get? And I was like, Sprite. And she was like, oh, I really don't like Sprite, but thank you. She was like, I can go get a water or something. I was like, oh, what soda did you say you liked? I thought you said Sprite. She was like, oh no, it was like Dr. Pepper or something. I got like the complete opposite. So anyways, during the movie, I'm like stressed out. I remember at one point, I don't know what to say, like I'm nervous to even look at her. We weren't like touching, holding hands, we even hugged. And I remember I looked over and I was just like, have you talked to my ex recently? And like, because we both knew her, like that's how we were mutual friends. I just brought up my ex, and she was like, no, we're not really friends like that. We just had class together. And I was just like, oh. And so we just sit in silence for the rest of the movie. Banger movie, by the way, Demon Slayer. I remember during the movie, I was like so nervous. I was like trying to think of something. I kept checking my phone. Like I wasn't even like scrolling, I was just looking at it. And she was like, are you expecting a text or call from someone? I'm like, oh no. She's like, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm like, oh, I'm not checking the time or anything. And so after that, we leave, and she had gotten dropped off. I was like, do you wanna go get something to eat? And she was like, oh no, that's okay. And I was like, I understand. I was like, do you want me to, you know, like wait with you while your brother comes? So she's like, no, that's okay, he's coming right now. I was like, well, I don't want you standing out here alone. She goes, no, it's really okay. And she like walked away from me down the street and then never spoke to me again. And that's the end of my bad date number 1. Honestly, I was just so nervous. I had gotten my own head so much. I probably freaked this poor girl out so bad. I probably looked like a crazy person. Date number 2, at the time I was dating a stripper, and this time this one wasn't on me, and she had come home one night. She was like, you know, the strip club is closed on Tuesdays. I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, they're hosting a magic show there. And I was like, a magic show at a strip club? And she was like, yeah. She's like, we should go get dinner, go on a date night, and watch this magic show. Whatever, cool, I'll trust you. And I was living in New York City at this point. The night comes, we go out to a nice dinner. We go to this magic show at the strip club. So I walk in there and it's all like middle-aged women. They're all sitting in a seat. I'm like, oh, this is strange. Like, why am I the only guy here? And like all her friends who'd worked at the strip club with her were there to watch the magic show. And they're like, yo, why did you bring your boyfriend? And you know, I just thought a magic show would be fun or whatever, like as a couple, as a date. And they're all like kind of giggling and laughing. And so I sit down, I'm the only guy sitting in there really. You know, the lights come down in the strip club and the stage curtains open up and it's a Magic Mike strip show. And I'm sitting like on the second row and all these buff stripper dudes, just like construction workers, one was a pilgrim, one was like a doctor, come out and they just start like walking out to the women, touching them, feeling them. I made eye contact with one, I was just like, and I just looked over at her. I was like, we have got to get out of here. And I saw this one guy dressed up as a prisoner, bro, and he was really eyeballing me. And that was probably one of the most awkward experiences of my life, having a bunch of jacked dudes. And let me say, they were in great shape. Start taking their clothes off while a bunch of middle-aged women are all around me screaming. This was supposed to be a date night. This was another really bad date I went on, and I was honestly scared of women for a while after this one. I remember I went out to dinner with this girl, and we had just met. And the dinner went fine or whatever. You know, she was a little weird, a little awkward. But afterwards, she's like, hey, do you want to come over? We can cuddle and watch a movie. And I was like, you know what, fine. When I was younger, so you know, I was more down to go into situations like that, even if I wasn't particularly feeling. I was like, I'm down. We go back to her place, and she lived in a really nice place. You know, she had a really rich family. And so we were laying there watching Netflix. You know, we just kind of start cuddling, and I kind of put my arm around her, and she's leaning against me. And so my arm is kind of like dangling near her face right here. Randomly looks over at me. She's like, hey, do you know that it takes less pressure to bite through someone's finger than it does a baby carrot? Oh, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty wild. And out of nowhere, she just like chomps onto my finger, my index finger, and gets it right above this knuckle right here. It hurt right away, and I was like, oh, ow. Ow, ow, ow. I was like, what are you doing? And I started pulling, and when I pulled, she didn't let go. I pulled her, and she, like, her head jutted forward, and she was like laughing really crazily. I was like, dude, you're gonna break my finger. And she was just like laughing at this crazy look in her eye, and then she bit down harder.
Shoot her! Shoot her!
My fingers on her chin like this, and like pulled her chin down and yanked my finger out. And I literally had blood and teeth marks on my finger from where this psychopath genuinely tried to bite off my finger. I got up and I was like, I gotta go. And she was like, I was just joking, I was just playing. Holy crap, this girl is insane. I literally almost lost a digit. And that same girl actually ended up going to jail for burning down one of her ex-boyfriend's cars. Like, she had like gone on to like date some other guy, and they got in a huge fight, and she lit his car on fire. I heard some other crazy rumors too. So I really dodged a bullet. Listen, I like crazy, but it's gotta be the right kind of crazy. If you guys think you've had worst first dates or just dates in general, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. Much love. If you guys like videos like this, make sure you check out my other content. Make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
The wait is too
The weight is too heavy for my chest. I feel my bones about to break. At peace with my soon-to-be fate.
It's time to unlock the chains.
I'll be free from all this pain. My mind has been begging for this break. Things must be easier this way. There's no going back, I can't turn around now. Pop another bar, close my eyes and drown into the night. Running towards your voice,
Always running,
reaching for you to take me away.
praying for my glimpse of light.
Keep the smile plastered on.
As tears run down my face.
Stuck in this dark despair.